Milo is no stranger to the gates anymore, and you quickly proceed. But you have a feeling it wouldn't be bad to examine this shelter first. And even though you just came out of the other shelter, you still feel the urge to hibernate again. Maybe Milo needs to acclimate himself to this new environment, and it was too strenuous, or maybe you got sick. But when you wake up, you feel strong again, and it's time to push forward once again. But you do feel a bit uneasy, and hesitate for a moment. Looking around, Milo sees a lot of trash and garbage, mountains of waste, and still there is life even in such a harsh environment. You already met the worms. It seems they call this place their home, since you find a lot more of their kind around here. Rummaging through the piles and searching for food or something that might catch their interest, as you do at times. A spear usually gets taken away by them. These garbage worms, as you may call them now, seem to be mischievous but never with ill intent towards you. Going past them unarmed poses no problem, and the blue pearl in your hand seems to not pique their interest. Lucky for you, since you would not like to just hand it over like that. You hurry on and notice the water around here has a dirty green color, but even in this brackish water there is life. Red leeches sometimes hold on to you and try to pull you under. Being quick helps tremendously here, since the leeches that hold onto you shrivel up when exposed to air and try to get back to water. This information about these parasites is crucial to survival in this environment. Being quick, but taking some breaks in between checkpoints to not run blindly into your demise. You have already learned a lot from your past encounters, and your visions help you as well. Learning from the mistakes the phantom Slugcats made. A lot of leeches try to hold on to you, but you are swift to lose them and get to dry land. At the end of the open area, the tunnel is a bit too high to reach, but you just use the same trick you used back in the industrial complex. You take a spear and ram it into the wall to reach higher when you climb it. You quickly take another spear and continue. Finding your way upward, you meet a scavenger in your way, but it was only passing by. In the past, you have traded your safe passage at one of their tolls, but this does not look like it is a toll. It is more like a temple or market. You know they like to exchange objects, but does this mean scavengers have dedicated merchants? But the trader keeps their distance to you and even flees to one of their exits. You are unsure what to make of it. You find yourself alone in this place. The moment you want to continue, you make sure and check again. And yes, the trader came back and actually is interested in an exchange, because it has noticed your blue pearl. You knew it. For this blue pearl, he immediately throws down 3 explosive spears for you, grabs the pearl and rummages back into its hiding spot. Of course, you take 1 spear, since you cannot hold on to more. A strong weapon, you think, and you continue. This time, you move further down and follow the path before you. You find popcorn plants, but thinking about it, you leave them be for now and head further down. You decide to go west, to trace back a bit. On your way, one of the garbage worms steals your explosive spear. It is frustrating that you traded your blue pearl for this spear, but it got taken away this easy. On the other hand, you consider that if not that worm, another worm might have stolen it. So without a spear, you go on and evade the leeches in the water. And here you are at another shelter, hibernating without your friend, the blue pearl, or the explosive spear. In your sleep, you remember the time when one of those yellow observers showed you a picture of something or someone. You could not make much sense of it, but you had a feeling that it had some future meaning seeing this. After you awake to the sound of the opening shutters, you feel oddly exhausted, but nonetheless you have to push on. Will it be alright to continue like that? Maybe this area will take more out of you than you expect. When you go back the direction you came from, one of the clicking snails stuns you for a moment and the worms are skittish as well. You stand up and proceed. In the next room, you have to dive underneath some garbage and you hurry since the leeches noticed you splashing through the water. When you see a vision of a slugcat that was not quick enough and got drowned by the leeches. It is uncanny to see this. Out of the water, you catch your breath and throw some bubble fruits into the water so they become edible, like the last time you did. You eat up fast, and with a full belly you are prepared again. As you go further, there seems to not be any immediate danger in sight. But the moment you go towards another tunnel, a vision is shown again, where a slugcat falls into a trap right at the exit of a tunnel. You can't quite make out what kind of thing it is that devours the slugcat, but it is scary to witness that. You push on. Out of the tunnel you see something wiggling in the water underneath, the same way as it did in your vision. You remain careful. You jump over, spear and wall, and quickly leave it behind you only to be greeted by a terrifying sight, a wiggling, rotting something that has long arms and is in the middle of catching a scavenger that is fighting for its life but losing miserably. After it devoured the scavenger, it suddenly blacked out and rolled towards you. And on the other side you see another one of those creatures catching a squidcada out of the air. The arms are sticky, it seems, and you do not want to get caught in it. You learned from the past success, patience is a virtue. You, waiting for the right moment, pays off, and your opportunity comes, where you run underneath that thing as fast as possible. You are scared those things could follow you, but no time to look back. After some running, you stop and catch your breath, and notice you are unarmed. You take a little moment and dive inside the leech-filled pond. There are a lot of leeches, and another scavenger is also a little bit of a hindrance, watching you, but not really helping. You think they are good scavengers, and not so good ones. Through a tube you get to elevated ground and grab a spear that is stuck in the floor. Now you are better prepared, I think. Another vision in front of a tunnel, same premise as before. One of those things eating a slugcat that was caught in its long legs. And right out of the tunnel, another vision opens. Near the water, it's dangerous with these things you see. With a quick leap, you try to close as much distance over the water as possible. And right when you reach the other side, yet another vision opens. With this gruesome sight, you wonder how many slugcats had to die this terrible death. Your answer comes quick. While three of those long-legged things descend, another vision shows you a slugcat that fell from above into the pool underneath and got eaten again. Now you understand, this area is dangerous and you really need to get out of here. But again, you are reaffirmed, patience is crucial to survival. Near a tube, you wait in safety to not catch their attention, even though you do not even know how they could notice you. There are no eyes on these things. They seem to just mindlessly see based on the direction of their legs. move after stalking them for a long time, but again, your patience pays off. You leap over and climb up the pole, but you tread carefully. Since another one was waiting there. As it goes down, you take your chance. The yellow observer tells you to go right, to find a shelter, and this time you listen, since you do not know exactly how much time was invested, waiting patiently. In the next area, you can climb without hindrance, and in your mind's eye you focus, and notice you would have still had a little bit of time left, so it feels good to have found a shelter here. But you keep on slipping and you struggle to enter this shelter. Until you have an idea. And you finally can go in. Right on time, as this cycle was almost over. How will it continue? Find out in the next episode.